Welcome back to Live Wild, your place for stories, trip reports, gear reviews, and much more. This week, I decided I'm going to start a new series, and it's going to be based on the SAS Survival Handbook written by John Wiseman. I had a friend recommend this survival book to me, and I decided instead of just reading the book and then writing it up or reacting to it, I was going to use this as an opportunity to learn and to prepare. So the series is going to focus on each chapter of the book. And I decided I'll be looking for one big change that I can make to my setup, one skill that I can learn or I can practice, kind of one takeaway amidst all of the other great info in the book. The big takeaway from chapter 1, which is titled The Essentials, boils down to being prepared, taking care of your body, staying sharp on your skills, like getting out and shooting your bow or sighting in your rifle, but also evaluating the gear that you do have and knowing how to use it and when to use it. You can see I started this video with some footage of me going through an old bug out bag that I put together. My friend and I did a $100 bug out bag challenge at Walmart to see how good of a bag we could build for $100. And while we got some great value, we ended up putting bags together that weren't useful for anything. And this opportunity to go back and see what I had and what needed to be thrown away was a great first step as I examined my essentials. All of the food from the bag needed to be thrown away as it was over 4 years old and had been sitting in my storage unit. And items like the Pepto-Bismol, while great to have in the bag, are not doing any good if they're this old that they're ruined, probably going to make you more sick if you end up using them anyway. Chapter 1 of the Survival Handbook mentions putting together a survival kit and a survival pouch, and those are the two things that I'm going to take a look at today. I decided to use the backpack from the bug out bag as the survival pouch, and then I decided to go through all of the old equipment that I have sitting around because the goal is not to buy a bunch of gear for this, the goal is to use what I've already got. And I'll tell you, I was really surprised by the amount of stuff that I had laying around that I had just forgotten about. This orange waterproof container is the perfect example. I didn't even remember I had it, but this is going to serve perfectly as the survival kit, which I think is going to fit inside my car. So you can see I found knives, I found a few compasses, I found a magnesium fire starter that I just didn't even remember I had, and all of those things are being wasted sitting in a box in my storage unit. So my plan is to put together 2 packs, a survival kit, which is going to be smaller, and a survival pouch, which I'm going to store in a safe place, but it'll be a little bit bigger. I found a spare butane torch in the box of gear, and I was really excited to get to add it to the car kit. But as soon as I picked up the car kit, I realized that the torch is way too big to fit inside. So I decided I was going to have to make some other changes in regards to fire because the torch wasn't going to work. I also found that I have a spare mess kit that I never even used that I purchased for the bug out bag, which I think will go perfect in the survival pouch, which is going to be the backpack. As I was digging around, I found a couple stakes that I made when I was hammock camping a while back. I'm not going to pack them in any of the packs because I could just create other stakes, but it's kind of cool to look back on some of the artifacts that you created while you were out in the woods, so I'm glad I hung on to them. One of the first big finds for the survival kit was this little mag light. It fits perfectly inside the kit, and I figured it would be really nice to have some sort of light inside the kit. At this point, I was overwhelmed just by the sheer volume of equipment that I had laying around. I also opened up some of the iodine tablets, and I'm not going to put those in water, so I figured I'd toss them. The Survival Handbook names matches, candles, and flint as the 3 first things that need to go into your survival kit. I got lucky in finding a few packs of Coleman waterproof matches, which still work, luckily. I'm going to go ahead and put some of those in the survival kit and some of them in the survival pouch. I also found some random birthday candles that I had in a bag, so I broke that bag in half, and some candles will go into each of the 2 packs. After going through all of my survival and outdoor gear, I decided that the survival car kit would have a pack of Band-Aids, my mag light with some new batteries in it, the Coleman compass as well as a foldable knife, some weatherproof matches as well as some of the leftover birthday candles, and a magnesium fire starter stick. I also found a bag of leftover fishing supplies, and while I couldn't fit the whole bag inside the kit, I was able to get some hooks, a bobber, and some sinkers in. I also threw in a small X-Acto blade because it doesn't take up any space. While the kit's missing things like fishing line, I think that it's a pretty good start for the supplies that I had, and I'm excited to put it in my car. Because the survival pouch is a lot bigger and it's being stored in an easier to reach place, I was able to include some more stuff, although I'll be the first to acknowledge some of this stuff is way too big. I included a small tarp, as well as the aluminum mess kit, an old hatchet that I had in my camping tote, as well as a huge flashlight, some essentials like Band-Aids and hand sanitizer, as well as toilet paper, a notebook, and a pen. I included a larger folding knife, and a pocket bellows, as well as some waterproof matches, some candles, and some old fire starter sticks. I also threw in the butane torch because I had it, and I decided I would include a small Leatherman and a compass because I had space for them and I found that they were useful. I'm pretty happy with the items I got into the survival pouch, although items like the hatchet and the flashlight are a little big and maybe in the future could be upgraded to a smaller size. I also threw in a small pair of neoprene gloves because, again, they were sitting around and I had the space for them. All in all, I was expecting the pack to be a little heavier. It came in at about 4.8 pounds, and I feel like that's a pretty decent weight for a pack that you would be carrying longer distances. I do feel like the first thing I would add to this bag is an aluminum water bottle, because although I have the mess kit, I'm missing out on a way to transport or boil water effectively. So to wrap up the essentials part 1, here's a look at the 2 packs I put together. I then took the orange kit to my car, cleaned out a bunch of stuff from the center console that I didn't need, and found a spot for it so it's within reach if I'm in the driver's seat. If you have anything you think I left out of my kit or my pouch, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, always live wild.